لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. This is As You Answer the Call. I'm Rashida Abubakar, your regular anchor, welcoming you to another edition of the program. The airlift of Nigerian pilgrims back home at the end of the 2024 Hajj is on the way. In keeping with its plans, NAHCON commenced the airlift on Saturday, the 22nd of this month, with 3 flights involving pilgrims from the FCT, Nasarawa and Kebbi State. And so in our Spotlight segment, we shall take a detailed look at how NAHCON and other stakeholders plan to ensure a successful airlift operation back home. Still in the package, we have other regular segments such as Making the Hajj and NAHCON News Diary, which highlight the activities of NAHCON and other stakeholders in the Hajj industry. Also in the program, pilgrims extend greetings to their loved ones. Stay tuned for these and more. Don't go away.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The program kicks off with the News Diary. Top in the lineup, National Assembly reiterates commitment to strengthen NAHCON and NAHCON Chairman Palace Journalism Mecca. Stay tuned for these and more. Don't go away.
The National Assembly has adjudged 2024 Hajj successful, pledging to support NAHCON to enhance its service delivery to pilgrims. Senator Kakashe Hulawan, who represented the Chairman Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, stated this while addressing stakeholders at the post-Arafat meeting in Makkah.
As a Senate, we are determined to ensure that we give our maximum support to the National Hajj Commission and also to be alive to our responsibilities by enacting laws that will improve the welfare of Nigerian pilgrims. Let me use this medium to commend the chairman and members of the National Hajj Commission for a job well done. The chairman has said it all. They have done their best. It is left for us to x-ray whether they have performed optimally or not. Their performance or their success is our collective success, and their failure is equally our failure.
Likewise, the Chairman, House Committee on Muslim Pilgrims Affairs, Honorable Jafaru Muhammad, applauded NAHCON for improved services, particularly airlift operations.
I have to show my appreciation directly to the NAHCON, which is National Hajj Commission, by uplifting their programs in 2024 Hajj operation, particularly in terms of the airlifting of our Hajj participants.
The lawmakers had separately carried out oversight activities to find out how pilgrims are treated. In the meantime, the chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, Malan Jalal Ahmed Arabi, has appreciated journalists, particularly those on the national media team, for exhibiting professionalism and dedication to their duties. The chairman made the commendation while interacting with journalists on the 2024 Hajj operations. He highlighted the successes recorded and challenges faced. One such issue he spoke on is how some pilgrims got $500 BTA and others were given less than what was announced in the Hajj fair.
Now, the policy of government when it comes to exchange rate is, on the day your transaction will be triggered, it was the same day's rate that will be applied. In other words, if today, like we did, when we calculated the amount paid by the pilgrims, which obviously contained the BTA, and by the way, the approval of the BTA was consensual. We did, since you all know, we're trying the best that we could to make sure that we reduce the Hajj fare to the barest minimum so that people can come in. We've talked about how the assistance came in and so on and so forth. But anyway, fast forward. If on the day we said, look, CBN, we are transferring this amount of money belonging to state A for its pilgrims, and you calculate it on the day we send, is going to fetch them $500. Well, pray that it is triggered and it is effected that day. If perchance is not effected until 2 days after, and Naira goes down, dollar goes high, suddenly you won't get $500.
Malang Arabi said the challenges faced by some pilgrims with regards to the services rendered by tour operators in Tent A during the stay in Muna would be looked into, noting that NAHCON will at the appropriate time interface with key political leaders in Nigeria for better understanding of certain operational matters.
With what happened around Tent A, mostly between the tour operators and some of our leaders, it left a bitter sour in the mouth of everybody. But like I said, whatever challenge you witness and you experience, take it as a lesson. We will not join issue with any of the political leaders. We won't. They are our leaders, they are our governors, they are respected legislators. They are important. Allah has given them the position and we must respect them as leaders. But it doesn't stop us from reaching out to them when we go back to explain the situation, because there's every likelihood that there's a gap of severe misunderstanding of who is to do what, whose responsibility is it to do this and that.
The NAHCON chairman reiterated the commitment of the commission to reduce the number of days pilgrims stay in Saudi Arabia. In other news, pilgrims from the south, and southeast have been urged to continue to live their lives in accordance with the virtues and lessons entrenched in the Hajj exercise. Chief Imam of Imo State, Sheikh Suleiman Yusuf, stated this while addressing the pilgrims during a meeting with stakeholders from the two zones in Mecca.
My brothers and sisters in Islam, Islam is a religion of knowledge. Islam is a religion of knowledge. It is very, very important for all of us to bring out our time to know more about Islam. Islam is love. Islam is peace. Islam is togetherness. Islam is oneness.
In his remarks, Imo State Amirul Hajj and Sarkin Hausawa of the state, HAJJ Awwalu Baba Suleiman, extolled the conduct of the pilgrims, particularly on the unity and brotherhood exhibited in the cause of the Hajj.
And another thing is resilience and coordination of the Southeast and South pilgrims. I have to commend to all of you, because as far as we are here, we are one brothers and sisters, and we have been doing things together as brothers and sisters.
Also speaking, NAHCON Commissioner representing South, Hajia Zainab Musa, and that representing Southeast, Hajia Aisha Ahmed Obi, said NAHCON will continue to strengthen Hajj activities in the zones, appreciating how the Commission conducts the airlift operation.
From Nigeria to Medina, from Medina to Mecca, everything went successfully. There's nothing that we can do than to tell him thank you. And may God continue to bless him, our chairman, Jalal, for his good heart He have done a wonderful things.
It was encouraging. We were not backdated, and our flight was not shifted. And I believe it will not be shifted this time around.
On their parts, representatives of the different states that made up the two zones highlighted areas of success and challenges in the 2024 Hajj, advising NAHCON on the way forward.
And at the same time, what I want to complain is the toilets of that of Mina. I told you the food was SS, everything was okay, but what I noticed there, if you eat to the charger and our so alhamdulillah, so in this area where we commend NAHCON, they try their possible best.
For the NAHCON, they try their own best. It's not the first time that I come for Hajj. I will not forget, there is time when I come for Hajj, in Muzdalifah we sleep on the Kolta. But now when I come, you see new carpet and other things. The same thing in the Arpa. If you go Arpa, it's not this kind Arpa that we go before. So we appreciate their effort.
The pilgrims from the two zones bear their minds on the 2024 Hajj exercise.
Alhamdulillah, this is my first experience and it's a good experience. We really appreciate Saudi authorities and NAHCON for their effort, even though there is some challenges. But alhamdulillah, we have performed our Hajj rite successfully.
Alhamdulillah, we have come, we have performed our Hajj successfully. Although we all know in life, nothing is 100% perfect. The only areas we have some little issues are the area about the food. Yeah, there are a lot of food, enough food, just like as other people have complained. There are the taste of the food, the manner of they cook the food is not how we used to cook our Nigerian food.
The standard of the tent we were staying in Mina is okay for me. Not minding the harsh weather of this Saudi Arabia, we were comfortable there. Inshallah, I won't deny that. On the other hand, the hotel I'm being kept is as much as if I'm in my home. Walillah, I'm happy about it, honestly.
Alhamdulillah, you are still watching as you answer the call, a public enlightenment presentation that keeps you abreast of the activities of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, and other Hajj-related matters. As the airlift of Nigerian pilgrims back home progresses, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, says it is committed in ensuring a seamless operation. In our Spotlight segment coming up next, we shall focus on the measures put in place by the Commission to make the return trip for Nigerian pilgrims stress-free. Keep watching.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك 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 اللهم لبيك لبيك لبيك.
For every pilgrim is equal to date of arrival into the kingdom plus 38 days.
NAHCON Head of Aviation, Engineer Goni Sanda, speaking on flight arrangements back home at the post-Arafat meeting held recently in Meccatul Mukarramah. In line with the flight's plans, the 3 approved carriers have been scheduled to take pilgrims to their various destinations. For instance, pilgrims from the following states will be airlifted back home by Max Air. The states are Adamawa, Bauchi, Benue, Gombe States, Kaduna State, and Armed Forces. Others are Kano State, Katsina State, Kogi State, Nasarawa State, Plateau State, and Oyo States. Air Peace, on its part, is slated to transport pilgrims from Bayelsa State, Delta State, Edo State, Ekiti State, Enugu State, and the Capital Territory, Abuja. Others include Imo, Kwara, Ondo, and Rivers States. For Flynas, it is bringing in pilgrims from Borno State, Kebbi State, Lagos State, Niger State, and Ogun State. It also includes Osun State, Sokoto State, Yobe State, as well as Zamfara State. NAHCON Commissioner of Operations, Prince Anofiu Olarewaju, sheds more light on the homebound airlift operations.
As we started on the first leg, if you recollect, we started with 3 flights on the inaugural day. So we'll commence with 3 flights. Next day we continue with 3 flights. Gradually it returns to 5. What we'll do is, according to the schedule, we'll not run less than 3 flights in a day. We'll rather run more than 3 instead of run less than 3. So, and that's the strategy we applied on the first leg. So with this strategy, latest by 18-19, we must have finished the second leg back to Nigeria.
The commissioner says NAHCON is maintaining its policy of first in, first out, which means pilgrims will return home in order they went to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that's the only strategy that will not create issues, most especially among pilgrims. So if I'm forced to come and somebody met me, maybe we shared a room, so somebody met me in my room, and on the second leg I discovered that the same person had packed his or her luggages and leave me. So definitely it will create issues among pilgrims. That's the reason why we adopted that strategy, that as you come, you go. So, and it's the best strategy we can apply.
By making Medina as the first port of call for pilgrims before the Arafat makes it easier for NAHCON to focus on the journey back home.
After the Hajj exercise, you have to take those that haven't been to Medina back to Medina again, then back to Mecca, then you take them to Jeddah as outbound. But Alhamdulillah, for the first time in a long while, we set our target that look, all pilgrims must come through Medina so that we concentrate. Once the Hajj is done, just think about carrying the people back home through one port, and that is the Jeddah.
In addition to this, the return journey is expected to be faster than the outbound trip because at this stage, pilgrims will not be required to spend time on issues such as BTAs, visas, among others.
So it's just for us to get their passport out from the Muassasa and then put them on the bus, get to the airport for proper screening. So I don't think there's anything that can cause any delay.
Pilgrims returning home are not allowed to carry along Zamzam water because of the danger it poses to the safety of aircraft. In the alternative, NAHCON is providing each pilgrim with a 5-liter container of the holy water to be collected on arrival back home. Over the years, effective management of pilgrims' 32-kilogram main bag and 8-kilogram handbag allows for smooth airlift operations. There is also the constant reminder to pilgrims not to carry prohibited items. These include, among others, sharp objects, drugs, inflammable items, creams or toothpaste, and gaseous materials. As the airlift operations progresses steadily, NAHCON is leaving nothing to chance. It is closely monitoring the process and will address any challenge that may arise during the exercise. This is to ensure that all Nigerian pilgrims are back home by the middle of July.
MashaAllah, the program is As You Answer the Call. Coming up next is Making the Hajj. Tonight, Sheikh Nuru Khalid takes us through discussions on what pilgrims should be doing in Mecca while waiting to be airlifted back home. Let's hear him.
The Hajj rites have been completed and pilgrims are being transported back to their various countries. However, the lessons of the Hajj will continue to guide the pilgrims throughout their lives, reminding them of the importance of faith, humility, compassion, and many more.
So, consistency, what they have been doing before and during the Hajj.
On Making the Hajj tonight, Sheikh Nuru Khalid explains what pilgrims should be doing while in Makkatul Mukarramah after the Hajj.
One of the benefit of Hajj, or the most important benefit of Hajj, is to be born again, is to become new, as it is indicated in a hadith which the Prophet ﷺ has said, Man hajja falam yarfuth walam yafsud raja'a kayawmi waladathu ummu. Now, if he is to come as the day he came to this world without sin, that means that his sin was forgiven. Now, what are the signs that will show him that his sin was forgiven? It's improvement. When you see that you have improved in the act of devotion, act of righteousness, act of piety, then that means your heart is acceptable. So consistency, what they have been doing before and during the Hajj, zikr, recitation of the Quran, tawaf if possible, supplicatory salat, all things of righteousness, especially in conduct between them and fellow pilgrims, is very vital.
Why are pilgrims encouraged to be at the Haram frequently to observe daily prayers among other acts of ibadah?
It is very encouraging for a Muslim who found himself close to Kaaba to frequently visit the Kaaba for tawaf, for even sighting the Kaaba if he cannot perform tawaf, because looking at the Kaaba is a virtue, is rewardable. So if you cannot make tawaf, just look at the Kaaba with devotion, with fear of Allah, with piety. It will increase your faith. Now, if you cannot do tawaf, you cannot sight the Kaaba, be close to the Haram and pray there. You are aware that praying in the Haram, that is the territory of the Masjid al-Haram, is equivalent to 100,000 prayers in elsewhere. So it is important to frequent the Kaaba.
In addition to this, Sheikh Khalid identifies 3 ways pilgrims should conduct themselves in Mecca while waiting to be airlifted back home.
The first way is always remember that you are a Muslim, a mu'min, and that is why you are here. Make sure you abide by the conduct of a mu'min. Secondly, remember that you are in a land which is not your motherland. Therefore, you need to respect Nigeria by becoming a good ambassador of Nigeria in this country. The third one is always remember that you are a Nigerian and you need Nigeria and you have to pray for Nigeria and you have to show Nigerianism in you anywhere you find yourself.
The Islamic scholar says pilgrims must seek Allah's forgiveness, engage in supplications, as well as pray for peace and socio-economic development in Nigeria.
Alhamdulillah, now is the time to take greetings and prayers from pilgrims to their loved ones back home. Stay with us.
Mama Najiya Fatina gaishe su, da Abdurrahim na gaishe su, da Muhammadu Nazifi na gaishe su, da Barki Amarya na gaishe su. Ina nan dai fata na lahiya Allah nake. Gurgudu abinci mu koma bai kace muna ba. Kuma ma'aikata su ne kuna kula da lahiyar mu, lahiya Allah.
Ina mika gaisuwa na da zuwa ga iyalaina. Akwai na farko matana Khadija, sai yarinya na Hafsa da Asiya, sai Salisu da Jabir. Ina mika musu gaisuwa, sai Amina da Basma, sai Hajara da kuma sauran yayuna da yan uwana na garin Magamagari da Matur local government gaba ɗaya dukkan na ba su gaisuwa kuma na musu fatan alheri da fatan su ma Allah ba su iko da dama na zuwa gabatar da wannan aiki kamar inda Allah ya kama wannan waje.
MashaAllah, and hoping that pilgrims will continue to live by the lessons of the Hajj exercise. This is where we draw the curtain on today's program. See you same time, same day next week with another edition of the program. But before we go, remember that you can send your messages, comments, observations and questions through our mobile phone number and all the social media platforms. Once again, thanks for watching. Ma'assalam.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا